Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Jenks Center. If you're not familiar with the Jenks Center, we are located in Winchester, Massachusetts. I'd like to thank the Cummings Foundation for their generous 10-year grant. We're so lucky to have received this. Also, the Winchester Senior Association for supporting us as well.
Probably need a better battery here.
Okay. So please place all of your comments in the chat function and they will be addressed possibly later in the program. Please stay muted during the program, and also you'll receive an online survey to meet the requirements of the Cummings grant. And we appreciate so much you filling out the survey for us. I'm just going to go over what we have prepared for our September programs. We have a virtual program with the Massachusetts Historical Society. That's what that MHS is, the film club. A discussion of a civil action with host Jonathan Williams. That's going to be on Thursday, September 8th at 6 p.m. We have an in-person Sally Ride, America's First Woman Astronaut with Cheryl Fay. That's a one-woman show. And that is on Sunday, September 11th at 11 a.m. We have a virtual Composer's Corner with guest Bruce Posner, friend and archivist for Andrew Violet's estate. That's on Tuesday, September 13th at 7 p.m. We have an in-person event, an evening of songs with David Coffin, and that's Tuesday, September 20th at 7 p.m. So if you're interested in Sally Ride or David Coffin, please sign up early. Both of those will fill up. Okay, and that brings us to our August programming. We have an in-person event with Debbie Block. That's Audrey Hepburn. She's going to go over all of her music. She's going to have a live pianist there. And that's Tuesday. That's August 30th at 7 p.m. So please sign up early because they do fill up. I'm just going to let a few more people in. Okay. And that brings us to this evening. We have Composer's Corner with guest Rich Sokolow and, of course, our host, Andrew Celentano. This evening, Rich is going to present and share some of his music with us. He's a songwriter, musician whose music has been heard on TV, radio, streaming services, and in the movies. His collaborations include Just Smile with Clara Lofaro, featured in a national TV commercial, You're Beautiful with Kelly Riley, featured on General Hospital, and Pega Pega, reaching over 40 million viewers. Send Me a Lifeline with Hadassah Zeltzer, and Walk Through the Storm with Peter Wostrel. They were featured on Dance Moms, wonderful show. And Rich was executive producer and one of the principal songwriters for American Idol finalist Erika Van Pelt's debut album. Very exciting. My Independence. And Rich's music can also be heard on episodes of Inside Amy Schumer, Entertainment Tonight, and The Young and the Restless, and other network, cable, and streaming services. So thank you so much for being here this evening. I'm just going to turn this over to you. And
thank you, Hillary.
You're welcome.
So, you know, I actually met Rich at a party, I want to say maybe 7 years ago, some time ago. And I remember actually very distinctly, not only was I excited to meet a real, songwriter that I've always wanted to be, but also his story about how he went about, it's not just by accident that his music is successful. He actually has a very clever strategy, a number of strategies, and not to mention, first of all, he's got great music. You got to start with that. But then the way he goes about it is just very clever, and I think it speaks a lot to what it takes to actually be successful in the music business. So I hope he'll share some of those techniques with us tonight. And I first want to start by saying welcome. We're very excited to have you here, Rich. And I guess I'd first start to ask you, tell us about how you even became, your journey starting out as a musician. What was your family like? What was it like growing up that got you exposed to music? And was there kind of a seminal moment where you suddenly thought, you know what, I think I could do this. I could be a musician. We'd love to hear that.
Sure. Andrew, thanks for having me on. And I understand we have almost 100 people listening in today. And I'm humbled that you're all joining us today and excited to have you on our show. So as far as, how I got into music, my parents gave us piano lessons. My dad was a music appreciator. He took us to the Boston Pops. He took us to the Boston Symphony. If there was a great musical in town, he would take us. My mother was a piano player. She sang also. My grandfather was a volunteer cantor at his temple in Lynn, and he loved the Yiddish theater. So it was kind of, in the family a bit. And so as a kid, I took piano lessons. My younger brother also took piano lessons. He was a couple years younger than me, and he quickly leapfrogged me. So my brother, a very talented guy, Bill Sokolow, he became a music professional, music educator in the Lynn Public Schools, a music director. He plays in a big band. He plays in ensembles. He's made music his life as well. But once your younger brother leapfrogs you, what do? You quit. And that's just what I did.
Oh, really?
I quit. And I said, I'm just going to do what I just went out all in for track team. And, I became captain of the track team, and I kind of put music aside for a bit. But the one thing about music is whenever I heard it on the radio, and I heard the top 40 music and Motown and Linda Ronstadt and, Simon and Garfunkel and the Beatles and, just the great pop music of the most 60s, 70s.
Sure.
It was just part of me. I loved it so much. It just resonated. And so, I just loved music. And so I joined in high school, I joined the chorus. And I kind of picked music back up. And so I went to Tufts University. I double majored in economics and music. I formed a campus band at Tufts called Beacon Street with some very talented people, April Baldwin, Bill Wilkie, Craig Marcus, and my cousin Alan Walensky. And we played campus functions, and we played in the clubs in Boston. And so, I got back into it in a big way. And ultimately, after college, I stayed with it. I got into an original band that was writing songs, and they were playing Motown songs. And once again, we were playing in the Boston clubs. And I started writing there. And, it wasn't very good, but I started, and I got the bug.
That's wonderful. To think that we almost lost you to being in a track team and not doing any music at all. It's just wonderful to do that pivot. We're so glad that you did that. That's wonderful. That's great. By the way, someone just asked, they said, you look so young. Do you want to share your age with us? It's up to you, but it sounds like
I'm 63.
There you go. So yeah. All right. Wow, you look young. That's great.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I was there, for the 60s and, as a kid. And I think the music of the 70s was just, incredible with all the singer-songwriters that I love so much, Joni Mitchell and, Carole King and James Taylor and, Motown and Bob Seger, and it just goes on and on.
That's wonderful. So, and the music you play is just, that you've composed is just so beautiful. And of course, maybe this is a good segue to this first song that I want to play. So let me share the screen here and bring this up. And I have to remember to share a sound.
So which song are you going to play?
I thought we might start with the one that, Beautiful.
You're Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Sure. So I can set that up a little bit.
Yeah.
So this song I wrote with a very talented co-writer Kelly Riley. She's a Berkeley graduate. She is a voice teacher. She teaches guitar. She teaches songwriting. And my friend Linda Dulong introduced me to Kelly, and that was really exciting because we wrote a number of songs together, and we just released an EP, the songs of Rich Sokolow and Kelly Riley under the band name 3 Chord Rhyme, which you can get on, if you stream music on Spotify, Apple, or Amazon. So you know what, I think I'll explain a little bit about this song before I know you're going to play a video.
Yeah.
But the way this song came about was, I'm trying to write for what they call placements. So trying to get a song on a TV show or in a media or in a movie or in a commercial. And I learned from an advertising professional and some of the music supervisors, and Tom Page, he gave me this idea, and he said, if you come up with a theme or a central word that people can search or that have applications towards many different types of scenes, you might be more successful. So we came up with this word beautiful. And in my mind, there was just so many things that you could do with that word. Your beautiful eyes, your beautiful skin, your beautiful lips, and, not to be too cynical about it, but it would attract so many different opportunities, whether it's an advertiser in makeup or lipstick, or just a beautiful scene in a TV show. And I was very fortunate. Kelly and I were both very fortunate. We got 2 very significant placements. One on General Hospital, which I see you have queued up, and then I'll talk about the next one later. But it got placed twice. And the other thing is about a placement. A lot of times they'll put your song on a TV show, and there'll be people talking on top of it. Or there'll be music, it'll be in the background. It'll just be like a background thing in the scene. But if you get a placement where the song is the only thing that you can hear and the visual is on top of it, that's kind of like an A-level placement. And that's what happened in both of these examples. So in this General Hospital, it was a wedding scene, and they played our song, You're Beautiful. They played like almost, 2/3 of the song. Yeah. So that was really great. The other thing I want to acknowledge, Michael Tulamiero, who sang this, Chris Bilton, who played the keyboards, Denny Bonet played the violin, and by the way, she's Cyndi Lauper's violin player. Wow. It was engineered and mixed by Kenny Lewis. And I'll just play just a little bit of the motif that started this. This was how I just started the idea. So that was the germinal idea that started the music.
Very nice.
And then, of course, we had the theme. And Kelly is a brilliant lyricist, and we kind of constructed it together. And sure, if you want to just play the General Hospital scene, here we go.
Whoops, I'm sorry.
Without a doubt, you're beautiful inside out. Your lips, your eyes, oh, in my mind we've kissed 1,000 times. It leaves me breathless. Forgive Then I realized, now I can't wait to show you. Oh, your light shines over me, and I'm waking from this dream. I can't believe you're here.
Dearly beloved.
Wow. You know, I have to admit, it still brings a tear to my eye. Congratulations. And I have
Thank
to say,
you.
you know,
Thank you.
it must be a
Thank
real
you very
rush too
much.
to see it, and it's embodied in something so visually pleasing. I mean, it's just, you know, seeing the actresses, you know, on the verge of tears and so happy. It brings a whole new dimension to your music, which is already so beautiful.
Thank you.
No pun intended. I just
And
wanted-
you know,
yeah.
go ahead.
No, I was going to ask something very pragmatic, but go ahead, respond first, please.
So, what I was going to say is, you know, when you're a songwriter and it's a very solitary pursuit. You know, you're sitting at the piano, and you know, maybe you're collaborating with somebody, and you're writing music and you're writing words, but to have some other person or organization, in this case, a music supervisor, a director, a producer of this show, say, hey, this song is just perfect for this scene. I can't tell you how beautiful that makes a songwriter feel. There's nothing better.
Yeah. I wonder how many weddings have used that song since. You know, have you?
It's a good question. If they did it on their own. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, people would have had to have seen it on one of these shows. You know, either on General Hospital or the other show, Pega.
Yeah.
You know, because we're just releasing the song now.
Okay.
So it's possible it's happened. I haven't heard yet.
Well, maybe if Hillary and I get remarried again, we might use that. Now, you mentioned something about being an A-level. I forget the expression you used, but because there was no voiceover, and you know, I have to admit, I have friends that have had little bits of their songs, you know, used in the background, but because it's so in the background, you almost don't even hear it if you're not paying attention to it. So here, it's so front and center. Does that mean, and forgive me for being so pragmatic, but does that mean you get a better royalty because of that?
Yeah.
It's a more significant royalty,
Yeah.
right?
You get paid more for the length of time and how significant,
Yeah.
you know, the placement was. So, you know, when we have a publisher, and when she got this placement, she was very excited for us, and we didn't know what it was going to be until we actually saw it air, and then we said, "Oh my God!" You know.
So how does that work? You have a publisher that gets to see firsthand what you have, and then they try to basically broker it or sell it off to TV shows and things like that?
Yeah. So, you know, that's kind of the hard part, is getting, you know, a music supervisor or a publisher to recognize you, to even know that you even exist.
Yeah.
And then once they know you exist, they have to appreciate your catalog or what you're doing.
Right.
And they have the connections to all of these different, you know, Hulu and Netflix and networks, and they get I don't know what they call them, but you know, some kind of sheet with, hey, we're looking for music for this type of scene. You know, this show is looking for fast-paced music for a chase scene. You know, and then the music supervisor or publisher can submit to those shows, and then they're choosing probably from dozens or hundreds of songs, and it's not an easy thing.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing to get a placement.
Let's talk about this next one, because I think what's fascinating is here's a case where you had a video. Let me make sure I got to share this correctly again.
So is this Pega?
Yeah, before Pega. Oh, yeah, let's do Pega first. You're right. So Pega is, in fact, yeah, let's talk about how this happens. So this is a Brazilian show that picked up the same music. So tell me more about that. Yeah.
So the very same song was chosen by this show in Brazil. It's Brazil's top-rated show called Pega. Pega, it's kind of a telenovela. Maybe you could compare it to, something like Dallas or, one of these weekly, primetime soap operas, and very, very popular. And actually, it's 40 million people tune into this show. So this song and this placement was probably the most watched piece of music that I've ever done. And this was just in this beautiful love scene between, two people falling in love, and they use it once again, no voiceover, and there you go.
Let's play a little bit of the front end, which sets up the scene.
Sure.
Sempre vi essa cena nos filmes de jantar, à luz de velas. Achava bem cafona.
Achava?
Mas agora que eu tô aqui com você, nesse piquenique lindo, com essas velas, eu tô achando tudo o máximo.
Eu dei uma caprichada.
By the way, this is the way Hillary and I met. No, we're going to skip ahead to the Hillary's picture now, because she's saying, "Leave me alone." Let me move this ahead a little bit. So,
of course, they're speaking Portuguese.
There you go. Yeah, this is the scene I think where your music kicks in here. Oh, locked up.
A little buffering.
Sorry about that. I don't know why it's doing that. Technical, they call this technical difficulties. Wow, and I'm hooked directly to the internet too. This is
okay.
This is annoying. Let me back it up a little bit.
Yes, I see it.
Eu tô pronto para dar mais passo.
Você tem certeza que você quer dar esse passo?
There you go. Familiar riff and motif.
I'm sorry, for some reason.
All right, anyway, you got the idea.
Yeah,
you got the idea. It's a beautiful love scene between two young people.
That's something that your publisher did, or did they come across it somehow? Do you know?
So once again, this international show, the director or the music supervisor was looking for American music, and they came to, my publisher and others. I'm sure there were many people that were looking to get this placement. It was a big one.
I don't know if you had mentioned this already, but someone was asking, who is the person that actually sang the song here?
This is Michael Tulamiero. He's a indie artist, very talented, and he's actually here in Massachusetts.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Wonderful singer.
The other thing I want to ask you is that you've collaborated with a lot of people. How did you meet most of them? Were they through the school, Tufts or Berkeley? Or
Sure. So, Kelly, I met through, I'm in a songwriter group called the North Shore Songwriters in up here in Salem, Massachusetts. And one of the people that was in the group was taking lessons from Kelly. So she introduced me to Kelly. The sound engineer, it was somebody I've been working with for decades. And he introduced me to this singer, because he records a lot of people, and I typically don't sing my own material because I'm trying to do it at a high level, and I'm okay for demos, but so you meet through other musicians, and you meet through organizations like songwriter groups, and that's how it happens.
I'm sorry, it's just
okay.
now it's playing.
Okay, we got the idea though.
We have so much to cover, so let's move ahead.
Sure.
Apologize for that. So I wanted to talk about this next song, and I don't know, I may have stopped sharing here. Hang on a second. So this next song, you actually had a video out beforehand, and then it was picked up for this napkin ad. So is this this music video you did for Clara? You weren't actively at that point trying to get into a commercial with it, were you? I assume you just had this music video doing with her.
So sure. So let me give you a little background on this song.
Yeah.
This was written with myself and my writing partner, my many year writing partner, Peter Wostrel, very talented songwriter and guitarist, and the artist Clara Lofaro. The three of us wrote this song, and it was produced by Anthony Resta, who is a well-known producer has worked with Elton John and Sean Mullins. So this was an important song for us. So I had the good fortune that Clara agreed to work with me. I was probably almost 50 years old at this time, and she's probably thinking, what am I doing with this guy, right? But she was already doing some good work. She had won a couple of Toronto Music Awards. She sang on a Disney Super Bowl commercial. I don't know if you remember those commercials, when you wish upon a star, and then the winner of the Super Bowl says, I'm going to Disney World, So she sang on that commercial. So she was, on her way to doing great things. And, I found her through a Berkeley connection. And it took me about a year to convince her to work with me. And I think it worked out well for both of us. We made an album together with Pete Wostrel. And this song, Just Smile, I'll just tell you how it came about. I was chaperoning a middle school trip to New York City that my daughter Amy was on. It was the chorus, and I don't remember if the band was there, and Stephen Bloom was the music director there, and there was a few parents and a whole busload of kids driving down to New York City, and so they were going to be singing at all these different locations. Times Square, they sang at the United Nations, they sang at one of the big cathedrals in Central Park. And the way it went is we were all on this bus, and I remember it being pretty warm, and we're on the bus and we're stopping at all these different places, and then we would drive a little more, then they would stop again, the kids would get out. And so what was happening, this day was stretching out pretty good, and the kids are laughing and they're smiling, and the parents are sitting in the back of the bus, kind of, grumbling a little bit, with all the noise and the heat and everything. Oh. And I was just thinking to myself, look at this situation here. We're sitting in the back of the bus, and these kids are having the time of their lives, singing in Times Square and enjoying each other's company. And I just said to myself, come on, man, just smile. It doesn't get any better than this. And that's kind of how the song, the origin of the song came. Wow. And I worked on it with Pete and Pete Wostrel, and then we brought Clara into it, and she put her beautiful twist on the song. And so anyway, here's the music video we did. Now this was going back, 10, 12 years ago. And we wound up garnering, over 100,000 views. And this is, more so before the days of big social media where you could kind of promote it. So we were pretty happy with the video. And I brought, so the music video was recorded in a dance studio in New York City. I brought my daughter and about 8 or 9 or 10 of her friends down, and a lot of Clara's friends are in it. So just people in different phases of life. Just smile.
Wonderful. For some reason, only a third of it is downloaded so far, but let's listen to that.
Okay.
In the morning, just smile. In the evening, just smile. In the morning, just smile. Yeah. Riding down into New York City. No sleep sneakers on, trying to look pretty. Sun is shining, not a care in the world. Can't wait to get there, 'cause I'm a city girl. Now we're looking down from the top of the rock. No sound from the crowd filling up the block. It's a messed up world. One thing I know is you'll never have to ride alone. Just smile. Get on the bus. Wait on our friends. Get a look at us. Just smile. Riding in the back. See it all day. Wearing out my back. Just smile when you look at me. Have you ever felt this way? Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Just smile. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Dipping our toes in strawberry fields.
I love it. By the way, I just learned today. I don't have it in front of me. There's a word for those filler words. Ba 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 ba. There's actually a word.
I don't know that word.
I think it's called vocalaire or something, but I'll find out.
Very good.
But this is wonderful. So tell me how this then became the Vanity Fair napkin commercial. We'll play that in a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this was the biggest success of my songwriting career. I would venture to say it's probably the biggest success of Clara's songwriting career and of Pete Wostrel's songwriting career. And what happened was we kind of released this song as the first single. Now, we weren't signed to a record contract or anything, but what that kind of means is you're going to put the most attention on this song, and you're going to spend some money on a video, which we did on this video. And then you're going to try to spend a little bit of money promoting the song. And I got some really interesting advice, which turned out to be brilliant, from my cousin, Alan Walensky. And he said, you know, you can put this on YouTube and you can buy keywords, you know, which is probably very common today, but back then it was unheard of. It was a new thing. Mm-hmm. And he goes, and maybe you'll find somebody that will, you know, gravitate to the song and do something with it. And I said, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, you can just buy the word smile. You could buy the word toothpaste smile, or smile song, or happy song, or feel good song. And you can buy all these words, and you do like a 2-3 month campaign. And every time somebody types in those words on a YouTube search, your song will pop up.
Right.
And so I just listened to them because, I don't know, it sounded good. Yep. So we invested $3,500 and we bought all these keywords, probably like 30 of them.
Wow.
And the intent was really, it was to find one listener, just one. And we were looking for somebody that was looking for a commercial of some sort. Maybe it would be toothpaste. Maybe it would be toothbrushes. Maybe it would be lip gloss. Anything to do with your mouth or your smile. Yeah. And wouldn't you know it, this ad agency from Georgia reached out to me and said, Rich, we saw your song on YouTube. And we represent a client that's looking for a song for their ad campaign. Are you interested? You know,
that's great.
That's exactly the way this thing was designed.
Wow.
So, and we said, sure. And they said, but you know, we can't promise that your song will be used because it's going up against other songs. And I said, well, what other songs? And unfortunately, I probably can't say those songs because of the contract that I signed with the advertiser, but iconic songs, iconic feel-good songs that you've heard in multiple commercials.
I mean, you called them names. They are big names.
And then they put it out to focus groups, and the focus groups keep coming back. You know, we've heard those other songs before. We like that smile song, you know, with the girl. We like that smile. And ultimately, they chose it, and it was a stunning situation. It was just stunning, and they used the song on this commercial, and then it worked so well. They signed up for another year, and then it was online. So anyway, it was for Vanity Fair Everyday Napkins. It was that product launch for the little small napkins, not the big giant Thanksgiving Day napkins. And I guess it worked, and they were happy. And they kept paying us, you know, and it was remarkable.
Excellent. Let me play.
So this is the commercial.
Yeah.
Every time you use a Vanity Fair Everyday Napkin, you'll wipe on a smile. A cloth-like texture makes them especially soft and strong. And at only pennies per napkin, they're so surprisingly affordable, they add a special little touch that just makes you smile. Vanity Fair Everyday Napkins. Big smiles, small price. And try Vanity Fair Impressions, the classic entertaining napkin.
I love it. And this just kept rolling in money for what, 4 years or so?
Yeah, it was 2 years on TV, and it was just great because, my family, my kids would see it and, on Survivor or 60 Minutes or The Bachelor, it's Dad's song,
Yeah.
Nothing better.
Well, by the way, one of the people online tonight is my friend and professional life coach, Trish Coffey, and she just sent me today about, 20 words that, no one ever heard of, but they are for all kinds of things, like the cage on the cork bottle is called an agraph. And it turns out that na na na, la la la, all those things in a song, they're called vocables. So
Vocables.
I just love little word things like that. Anyway,
That's awesome.
Over here. Yeah. Now this next one is on the show. Dance Moms. Dance Moms.
So,
which my wife loves, by the way. So we're very excited to talk about this one.
So this song, I was very, very fortunate to work with an American Idol finalist, Erika Van Pelt. She was on the season with Phil Phillips, and some of you may know his songs Home and Gone, Gone, Gone. Erika is a massive talent, and I had the good fortune to be able to do an album with her called My Independence. The title track was written by myself and a great co-writer, Hadassah Zeltzer. We also co-wrote another song, Send Me a Lifeline, that was on Clara Lofaro's album. But this particular song, Walk Through the Storm, was written by myself, and Pete Wostrel and Erika Van Pelt sang it. And here's a clip from Dance Moms.
Yeah, excellent.
Where'd you go, my friend? Did I lose you in the darkness? All those things that we said, you know how words betray us. There was never time to say goodbye. When the waves are crashing down, you close your eyes. So if I've lost my direction, if I've lost be my guide, be my protection. I walk through the storm, you walk through the storm, till I find you. Through the darkest days, we'll be renewed.
Just love that. I got to ask you, when you collaborate with someone, how does that work? Are you guys taking different parts of it? Like, does he do the chorus and you do the refrain?
Yeah.
How does that work?
So it depends on who I'm working with and what their particular strengths are versus what my strengths would be in that collaboration.
Yeah.
I think in this case, I kind of came up with the theme, walk through the storm, just difficult situations. How do you get through it? And in this particular case, maybe Pete came up with some of the music initially, and then we wind up in this. Pete and I all often sit in the room together and kind of bang it out and hash it out.
Yeah.
Kelly and I work differently. We're at different places, and we're sending pieces of music and lyrics back and forth by email, and voice recorders and things like that.
Yeah.
So with Hadassah,
is lyrics also collaborative, or is one of you happen to be the best lyricist, or how do you guys do that?
So I'm usually not the best lyricist in a team. I'm usually strong. My stronger point is melody and arrangement and kind of riffs and little musical parts. Although probably with Pete Wostrel in this case, we're both, strong musically, and you know, we can both write lyrics for sure, you know, but you know, there's some people I've worked with, Hadassah and Clara and Kelly, and somebody I just recently started writing with, Gary Ward, who are excellent lyrics, and sometimes I'll just say, go for it, you know.
I love it. I love it.
It takes
now,
all
this
different.
is a completely different song, this culinary song. Do you want to give us a little background on that?
Sure. So this gentleman, Johnny Chow, he was a celebrity chef before there were celebrity chefs. So he actually cooked for celebrities, and one of his biggest clients was Michael Jackson. So he cooked for Michael Jackson out in Neverland, and he and I actually produced this show in Boston, and we did a number of episodes. It aired on NECN, New England Cable News, and Pete Wostrel, myself, and Johnny. Johnny's an excellent musician. He plays harmonica. We created this little 30-second theme music to introduce the show. And what he would do on these shows, he would do something of local interest, and he would be cooking and have a local artist. So the featured guest on this episode was Ernie and the Automatics, you know, which has Ernie Bach Jr. and two members of the band Boston, Barry Goudreau and Sid Hashian, who I got to know well, you know, before he passed away. And so maybe you can play a little of the theme and maybe just a touch of the episode.
Okay, sure.
So, Culinary Encounters.
This is really good.
We'll also head up to the Bay of Fundy in Canada, where I attempted to go lobster fishing, and we'll visit the largest lobster pound on Deer Island in New Brunswick. So
you can tell it's basically a Boston show, for sure.
So
I
anyways,
realized he played harmonica. That's awesome. Huh? I'm sorry, Rich. Did I lose you? Uh-oh, I think Rich locked up. Let me get out of this for a minute. Hang on a second.
sit tight.
I think Rich locked up, so what I'm going to do next is play this one, which is Kelly Riley and Rich Sokolow together. And
So I'll set this up briefly.
Yes.
Life is the dream, right?
Yes, yeah.
You're still with me, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, great. So interesting stories. I wrote this with Kelly, and this is on our new EP, The Songs of Rich Sokolow and Kelly Riley. I was in temple one day, and I'm listening to the rabbi's sermon, and he is reading this poem, and he said it was an anonymous poem, and I really liked it. So I'm going to just read you a little of this anonymous poem.
Yes.
Life is an opportunity, benefit from it. Life is beauty, admire it. Life is a challenge, meet it. Life is a duty, complete it. Life is a game, play it. Life is a promise, fulfill it, etc., etc., etc. So I said, wow, I really like that. Maybe I can get, an inspiration, for a song for that. So then I went online and I typed in life is, and looked it up. And then all of a sudden it says written by Mother Teresa. And so I called my rabbi up. I said, Rabbi Kudan, David Kudan was our rabbi. And he says, no, I think it's anonymous. And then I delved further into it. People have ascribed it to her, but I guess what it was is she really liked the poem and she had it posted in her office for many years. So it's unclear whether she wrote it or she just liked it and people attributed it to her. So anyway, Kelly and I wrote our own version inspired by this, called Life is to Dream. And we look at it as kind of an adult lullaby. And this one here was also written with kind of a piano motif. And for the musicians in the audience, I'm playing with the intervals root 5th, 10th, root 5th, let me see, 10th, 9th, and then octave. So this is kind of the motif I started with. So here we go, root 5th, 10th, 9th. So that was the germ of the music, and the theme, Life is to Dream.
I love it. Let's play some of this.
Life is a mystery unraveling. It flows like a river, roll gently down with it. Life is your story, put a claim on it. When it feels like a battle, fight for it. Life is to dream, so much to believe in. Just close your eyes and sleep. Life is a gamble, take a chance on it. It is forgiving, make mistakes with it. Life.
Next time I can't sleep, I'm going to play this music for sure. It's beautiful. Now you completely changed the poem, right? You their own.
We
words.
we came up with our own phrases. You know, we had a theme. You know, life is to dream, and we worked it around that.
Love it. That's just beautiful.
Thank you.
Now this comes to a little harder part in the in our program, talking about angel sleeves. I met your beautiful wife years ago. In fact, I remember writing an email saying, we got to get together. Your wife is so gorgeous. And Hillary said, I think you're gushing a little too much about his wife. You're going to scare him away. And so, but really, she was just one. I met her at that party and was very impressed by the two of you. I thought you were a great couple. But she's not with us anymore. And maybe if you could share some of that with us tonight.
Sure. So, yeah, my wife, Michelle, passed away about 1.5 years ago. You know, we were married for 30 years and it was a wonderful marriage. She had some health issues, you know, 6 or 7 years prior to that she did come back from beautifully, but you know, it was quite a scare at that time. And this song was inspired by that. It's called Angel Sleeves. And, you know, if we're very lucky, we have somebody in this world who's like our angel. And no matter how dire the circumstance, they're there for you and they're there to catch you if you fall. Mm-hmm. And so holding on to your angel sleeves.
Now, there's a couple of things that really touched me here. First of all, someone's driving to this this waterfall, and then they're holding a bracelet a necklace that does have the letter M on it, and then you see, I guess, this angel walking or running through the woods, and then the necklace is dropped, and then she picks it up. So I don't know the full interpretation of it, but is there anything you want to say about that, or we could just play it?
So what I will say is, you know, I worked with a very talented videographer, Seth Newton, and I let him have free reign on what his interpretation of the song was. He shot this in the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina, and I'm not going to suggest what my interpretation is, but it's beautifully done, and I think it fits the music well. And yeah.
If it's okay with you, I'm going to play this in its entirety.
Sure, play a bit of it.
I got too close to the edge, and it's a long way down. Waited for the wind to catch me before I hit the ground. Now every time I get back up, why I'm not dead yet, a leap of faith into your arms. Now it's safe to fall, holding on to your ancient sleeves, wondering how you ever came to me, and I can't let go because I wanna believe, holding on to your angel sleep. I thought I could fly on my own. Now I'm not that strong. How many times must I fall for a truth gone wrong? It's a fall without a parachute, a gravity that's in dispute, a leap of faith into your arms. Now I'm safe to fall, holding on to your angel sleeves, wondering how you ever came to me, and I can't let go because I wanna believe, so I'm holding on, holding on. When I can't stay away and I can't say goodnight, here in your arms where everything's right. There's nowhere to turn. It's better
tell you, Rich, I'm blown away by that piece.
Thank you.
It really, really touched me.
I appreciate that. And I want to give some credit. My co-writers, Clara Lofaro, Peter Wostrel, the engineer, Kenny Lewis, and the beautiful piano and string arrangements, Chris Bilton.
Now I got to ask you, Angel Sleeves. How'd you come up with that title? Because it's very, I mean, it's unusual. You know, I don't think anyone else has ever said Angel Sleeves. I think
no. So it was kind of a derivative thing. I hate to give away my secret on this particular one, but one of my favorite artists is Rickie Lee Jones, and in one of her lyrics, she has a line. Rainbow sleeves. So it was just a small little step to Angel Sleeves.
Well, by the way, Hadassah says hello. He joined up.
Hey, Hadassah, we love you.
And people are just saying, love the song. Wow, amazing, beautiful, powerful, really awesome. So great, some great feedback.
I'm so happy. Thank you.
All right, moving on to something a little more fun and retrospective. Back when you were just a young man, this is Frontier Pilots. You want to tell us a little bit about this?
Sure. This was a band in the early 90s. We were writing songs. We were playing in the Boston clubs and the North Shore clubs. Very talented group of guys. Pete Wostrel, Peter's singer, a great singer and drummer and songwriter in his own right. Ron Daigle was a percussionist and drummer. Ron Ward was our bassist. He's unfortunately no longer with us. And I played keyboards and sang. And this was a battle of the bands at Bleachers in Salem, Massachusetts. We're singing a Grateful Dead song. Actually, it's a traditional blues song that the Grateful Dead used to do in their set. It's called I Know You Rider. So here I am, you know, as a bit of a younger man.
Excellent. Just a bit younger.
Sure.
Gonna miss it when I'm gone. I know you, rider, gonna miss me when I'm gone. I'll be gone. Baby, from rolling in your arms. Sing it. I know you right. Don't miss me when I'm gone. I know you right.
Running out of time, but
There we go. You got a taste.
yeah, that was great.
You got a taste.
And this, you know, music runs in the family. So here is let's see. I've got your daughter's playing in this band, Sababa. Do you want to give us a little background on that?
So just briefly, my daughters Amy Sokolow, Jana Sokolow, and three other very talented musicians, Lauren Sleva, Sam Feinstein, and Gabe Goldman, formed this band when they were in middle school and high school. They became very popular, playing 40 times in like a year and a half, as at Topsfield Fair and the Peabody International Festival, at bar mitzvahs. They were very in demand at community centers, and they made this little video, and they've all gone on to continue doing great things in music. So there's a little video of Sababa.
That's wonderful. We'll just play a little bit of it.
Yeah, sure.
Ojivo shalom aleinu, Ojivo shalom aleinu, Ojivo shalom aleinu, ve'al kulam. Ojivo shalom aleinu, Ojivo shalom aleinu, Ojivo shalom aleinu, ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam, salam aleinu. Ojivo Shalom Aleinu, Ojivo Shalom Aleinu, Be'aku.
So we can find videos of, I think it's Jana is the one that's in these musicals, right? Is that
Yeah, so
right?
Jana is, very accomplished in musical theater. She's doing community theater now. She often got the leads in her high school plays, and she did something in college. And both Amy and Jana sang a cappella in touring groups at Tufts University. And Lauren actually just got her a job as a music director up here on the North Shore, so we're really proud of her. And Sam and Gabe continue to make music.
That must be so fulfilling to see that music running through the family. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
That's great. Now, there's two more things we want to do. The singing. You want to talk about this one a bit?
We've run an hour. I don't know.
Okay.
I think our audience has got a good good taste.
Let's end with this then. These are the songs of Rich Sokolow and Kelly Riley. By the way, Kelly's online. She says hello.
Hey, Kelly.
This is the place, 3chordrhyme.hearnow.com. Just wonderful songs here to listen to. And why don't we open up to the floor now? And if people want to ask some questions, you can unmute yourselves and fire away. Let's see if there's any questions in the chat. I think we've covered them all. Kelly,
We got it all.
Putting her on the spot.
That's so funny. I was actually thinking if there was something. Hi, Rich.
Hey, Kelly, how are you?
I'm doing great. Long time no talk. We talk practically every day.
Oh my God, Kelly, I'm just so impressed with the things you two are doing together. Just wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's really an honor. And Rich and I have become, it's really been such a special process, and we've become really good friends. So that's like the icing on the cake, for sure.
That's wonderful. I got to tell you that I've enjoyed this immensely. I've enjoyed the prep work over the last couple of weeks, working with Rich and listening to his stuff online and talking about what we might talk about tonight. There's so much that we could cover. I wish we could listen to every one of these songs in its entirety. I encourage everyone to go to these sites and just enjoy it. Just type in Rich Sokolow and see what comes up on YouTube. There's a lot of stuff up there, and it's just wonderful. So thank you so much again, Rich, for this wonderful opportunity. We're very excited.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor to be part of your show. I know some of the people that you've interviewed are Berklee professors and full-time classical composers, and that you considered me for this show is
oh my
very
God.
humbling. Thank you.
I actually think they're the ones that are in awe of you. So I think that we're really very impressed that you joined us tonight. Good luck in your future. I hope you write many more songs in your career. We're certainly looking forward to it. Your music is beautiful, and it creates a light in the universe that we all need. And it's wonderful that when you say let's think of words that people are looking for online, like smile and beautiful. It's so much better than just some of the stuff out there today where people just shock value kinds of stuff that will have no light in it at all and go nowhere. But this is just such a beautiful, wonderful thing that you're bringing to the universe. We're so appreciative of it. I'm sure everyone here tonight and others that didn't have time. We're going to post this online so you can share it with the rest of the world, and we look forward to having other people in the future comment and share on that as too. So thanks again. Congratulations to your daughters. I want to thank the Jenks Center for making this possible, the Cummings Foundation, and all the people in the past that have contributed money, including some past composers. I know Joe Blanchard started that tradition. We really appreciate that. So thank you all so much tonight. Have a great night. See me next month. We'll have another great composer.
Thank you for coming.
And I can't tell you enough. Rich, I'm going to keep looking out for your next song and your next song and your next song. It's going to be one of the things I look forward to, and it'll keep me going.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me.
You're quite welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Have a great night.